Welcome to the other side of normal, where strange stories, unexplained experiences, and curious minds meet. I'm Nacho. Here, the questions matter more than the answers. This is the other side of normal. Happy Sunday to everybody. We're having a little fun day Sunday action here. I have got my friend Bill Rigby on with me today. If you don't know Bill, shame on you. But also, if you don't know Bill, you will by the end of this podcast. Um, I have not known Bill a long time. I've only known him a couple years. I've known of him for a couple years. First time I got to meet him, I was a little like starstruck. I'm like, wow, that's Bill Rigby, and I'm going to go talk to him. And turned out to be one of the nicest human beings I've ever met in my life. So I would like to welcome Bill to my show. Bill, thank you so much for taking your time to come on and yap with me.
Hey, thank you for having me. Starstruck? Me?
Yeah,
That
you're
just
almost
blows
as
my
famous as
mind,
Bigfoot.
Nacho. Yeah.
Like Bigfoot is the man, the myth, the legend, and then there's Big Bill Rigby right after him.
No.
That's in my book.
I'm,
That's
I'm
where
just a regular researcher, podcaster trying to get the answers. I'm no one
I,
special. You know.
I don't think there's anything regular about you.
No,
Uh,
I'm pretty irregular lately, but that's a different story. but but
I just have always thought a lot of you, just by seeing stuff through social media and hearing people talk about you. And then one day we're there and we're like, and I'm like, that's Bill Rigby. And Deborah's like, well, come on, let's go talk to him. I'm like, we can't go talk to him. He don't be bothered with us. And she's like, shut up and come on.
see, that's what I like about Deb. No fear. No
No,
fear at
no,
all. She don't care. She's coming right out there.
yep, yep. She will
Uh,
jump right onto it.
yeah, and the late great Fred Saluga said something to me the one time. Um, I was invited to speak at one of their events, and I was telling Fred, I says, I'm very honored that I'm amongst all these speakers you got. I says, I feel like I'm the low man on the totem pole, and I'm glad you have me, but you sure you want me? He looked at me and said, Bill, they should be honored to have you with them. I looked at Dale, Dan Benoit, I can't remember who else. And, and I went, what? I said, these are all great researchers. He says, they're researchers. He says, they should be in awe of you.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just a lonely, unknown researcher. You got something over those guys. I do. He says, not a single one of them has seen a Bigfoot. You have. I'm like,
Yep.
oh. Uh, okay, but that doesn't make me any better than them. He says, no, but you did see one. So, that made me feel good. And then he proceeds to says, and you speak the truth about it and your reactions and the whole 9 yards. He says, don't you ever lose that or you have me in your ass. Oh, okay.
And the human element you bring to it, the
Yeah.
type of person that you are, you're very welcoming, you're very kind, you're very genuine, and that to me is you could be the most famous person in the world, but if you're a jerk, forget it. And you have all from every
Oh,
time I've ever seen you, you are always the same person, and to me that speaks volumes, head and
thank you.
shoulders over anybody else.
I don't want to be fake about this. I don't
Right.
want to exa- exaggerate what I seen or found in the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I'm not about that. I'm about finding out, and that's the way it is. And I'm going to start crying. Uh, My wife passed away 2 weeks ago. And the response I got from everybody really touched me.
Well, and it speaks volumes to who you are as a person because you treat people real and you're always real. People will
I
flock
try
to
to
you.
be.
I mean,
I try to be.
my whole thing is I always try to keep with the people that are my kind of people, like
Uh,
you know, genuine, you know, and that's what drew me to you. And I never got to meet your wife, but I've watched over the years how
uh,
you guys
uh,
interacted and how
yeah,
you always jumped to take care of her.
yep.
It was she was first in your life, and that's the way it should be. And people recognize that, people understand it, and it just speaks to who you are as a person. And that's first and foremost above anything else. That's what
Yeah.
draws me to you.
And the thing is, I've been in love with her for 30 years, but I didn't really show it because she was my one best friend's wife when I first met her. And we became friends, and then I fell in love with her, and I would not show it. After he passed away, we still stayed friends, and then finally I stepped back and because she says, "Why don't we go listen to music and dance so I can get out of the house?" No problem. We went to a bar. Well, I ordered rum and coke for both of us. They tasted kind of weak, so I started ordering double rum and cokes after that. Now, I wasn't drinking much those days. I don't drink at all now. And we're dancing. I'm feeling pretty damn good. And I go to her as we're dancing, a slow dance. I go, "You're going to be my wife one day." She froze. Her brother and sister in law was there. She froze for a second, turned around, and ran into the restroom. Her sister in law followed her. Her brother comes up to me and says, "What did you say to her?" I said, "I told her she's going to be my wife one day." He said, "All right, man, that's cool. Yes, I'd love to see that." I said, "I don't think she does. She ran away." and uh, finally, she comes back out of the restroom and that. Not, we didn't say nothing else. We already had it arranged since we are going to be drinking. Mary, she's my stepdaughter, but I always called her my daughter, even before me and Beth ever got together, because she, from 2 years old and that, she's my little girl. I arranged for her and her boyfriend to come pick us up, take us home. I'm 7 blocks from home. And I said, "I'll just go and walk. Come on, we'll get." "No, I'll walk. I'm fine." The longest damn 6, 7 blocks I ever walked in my life. Next morning, she calls me. And I'm hungover. Oh my God, the worst hangover I ever had. And she says, "You awake?" I'm, "No." She says, "You hungover?" "Yeah." "Well, call me when you get up." Okay. Finally, about 5 hours later, I get up and I'm thinking, "Oh my God, I ain't calling her. I'm embarrassed now." I avoided her for a week. She was calling, trying to get a hold of me. I wouldn't answer. She's calling my friends. "Tell Bill to get a hold of me." Finally, I answer the phone and she says, "What have you been doing?" Working and sleeping and avoiding me, sort of. "Do you remember what you said to me?" "Yes." "You should come down and let's talk." That's what I did. I end up going down. She's sitting in the chair. I get in the other chair and she goes, "So, you meant what you said?" I went, "Yeah." Now, why'd you avoid me for a week? Embarrassment? Are you sure? Yes. I says, because you ran. She says, you shocked me. I went into the restroom because I was totally shocked. She says, I've been in love with you for years too. What?
Wow.
We were
Wow.
together ever since.
That's
Been married,
awesome.
been married for 16 and a half years. And yes, when she passed 2 weeks ago, my heart went with her. It really did. Uh,
Yep.
you know, so and a couple nights after she passed, she used to wake me up because she was sick for 3 years.
Mhm.
She had to sleep in the recliner because it was hard for her to get in and out of bed. And we had a bed that raises and lowers. So they had so no, that's just getting in and out of bed so she can use the potty chair. Hey, there's my buddies. Uh, uh, Part of the Three Soul Paranormal. Um, so a lot of times between 3 and 3:30 in the morning, she'll yell for me because I was only one room away uh, to come help her so she can go to the potty chair. Well, a couple of nights after she passed away, I hear her calling me. I get up and run into the living room and I'm like, oh my God, she's not here. But she called me, know. So I know she was speaking to me. I don't care who believes me, who don't. I
I mean,
and I
that's the way paranormal works. That
yeah,
you as long as you know what happens, the
yeah.
hell with everybody else.
So I've been waking up 3:30 every morning now just to hear her talk to me, and I wish she would talk more to me. Um, but yeah, she was calling me, calling out to me, and I believe she was telling me she was okay. She's not sick no more. She's not in pain. She's with me.
Yeah. And she's
So,
always going to be with you, Bill.
hmm,
She's always going to be there for you,
yep.
just like you
And
were always there for her.
and no matter where life takes me, she's always there with me. And the hardest part of this all is for 3 years she was trying to get back to where she could be with me all the time, like she was. You know, different events, just going for rides, the whole 9 yards. And physically, she ain't there. I went for a long ride here a week ago, or the second long ride, and I felt her in the car with me. Of course, I'm talking my ass off to her, but
Oh yeah.
uh, you know, and look, some of the ghost research we have done and the responses we got, I know she's out there. She will speak,
Oh,
or show signs and the whole 9 yards from the researches we've done. You know,
I 100% believe it.
I know you do. You're a paranormal researcher. I got to get you out Bigfoot, though.
Uh, Anytime you
Yeah.
tell me, long as it's not cold outside, I'll go.
Well, I tell you what, with that deep freeze,
Yeah.
yeah, I changed my name to Bear because I was hibernating.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
I can't take the. I'm getting old, I guess. I can't take the cold, but
Oh, I've just this last snowstorm just has pushed me over the edge. I'm done with cold weather.
yeah, I agree with you, and I'm telling you right now, this winter sucked. Yeah. Um,
Yes.
that's too much snow, too much cold, not enough sunshine and
Hmm.
greenery. It's gray and cold and dark. Speaking of dark, this time change screwed me up this morning.
Oh man, it's been terrible.
I looked at
It's
the
been
time on
terrible.
my phone when I woke up at the second time and saw the time. And I went, it's still dark out. Why is it dark? Now, oh, time change.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But you know what? Later on tonight, we're going to enjoy that.
Yes, most definitely. Um, yeah, I'm definitely going to.
So what do you got? You got going on? You're doing a you're leading a festival now, right?
I did that in September. Yes, I
You're
got a
you're the
lot
you're
going
the
on, believe it or not.
you're the big shot for this now, right? You've kind of taken over the
Uh,
reins, and
yes. Um, they they asked me to step up and host the Western PA Cryptid and Supernatural Expo there at the Masonic Temple in Johnstown, PA. September 26th, 27th. Is that it? No, Joe, 26th, 27th? Yeah.
that sounds right to me.
Wait a minute. Let me check the calendar. If I give the wrong date, those guys will kill me. Yes. 26th, 27th. Uh, which is it's a big event. We changed some things around. We actually got uh, 6 speakers and 2 special guest speakers. So there's 8 speakers. We got a band uh, for Saturday night. Uh, Food trucks again. The kitchen will be open there. Uh, we're going to have a cosplay contest. And I'm changing a lot of this stuff up. Uh, Limiting the vendors because they were having vendors upstairs and downstairs. Downstairs, everyone seemed to complain they weren't making money. So we're limiting the vendors. We're not doing none downstairs. Um, and it's all non AI vendors. Their product, their logo, none of it can be AI. That's what they wanted to go with. We went with it with them. You know, when they asked me, I said, "Let me go crazy with this," and try to change things up. So eh, I says to keep it going, and they agreed. Um, they had their little bit of stipulations, and I agreed to that. So it's going to be a fun event. I'm looking forward to it. You know, you guys are coming again this year, and I'm excited about that.
Definitely going to be there.
I think we're going to put you downstairs this year. No,
That's probably the best place to put me.
we'll keep Deb upstairs and you downstairs. Well, wait a minute. No, we better reverse that. No.
Well, if you put
Oh,
me downstairs, everybody's going to be downstairs. Then they're all coming down to see me.
okay. Um, eh, you know, I got Bigfoot research. Yes, I see that, buddy. But there's only one problem with that one.
You don't like the zero.
I like the bigger bottles.
Ah,
Of course, I got the 16 ounce too. I got to finish off. Um, but what I got Blue Boat Eye, who's internationally known.
she is awesome.
I got Katie Elizabeth coming. Yeah, she's one of the foremost researchers of the sea creatures, sea cryptids. Uh, I got Mary Fabian. I got Ed Kellerman. Oh boy, brain fart. Let me find my paper, and I got paper
There's a
shoved
lot of
everywhere.
them.
Yeah, yeah. So I got all these ones coming. It's going to be great.
That's really interesting too.
The Blue Man. We had the Green Man here, but he was a real person. I don't know, but do you know the story on that one?
Uh-uh.
The Green Man. Uh, he, as a young man, he was walking home during a storm, and a high voltage line came down and nailed him. It actually burned his face off.
Hmm.
Uh, he lived. He had a green tint to him, and he only came out at nights because he scared people really bad. And I remember seeing him coming home from the New Galilee Fireman Festival. My dad took us to that. We're coming down the road. It was dark, and I saw him and saw that face. As a young kid, I freaked out. Yeah. South Park, I might have to argue with you with that one because he was up around New Brighton, there in Beaver County. Yeah. Unless he moved from there. I'm going to have to figure that one out. I'm not going to argue the fact. I'm going to have to double check that one. But I know he was up there in Beaver County, yeah, up close to the Lawrence County line, because I lived on the other side of the Lawrence County line growing up. And yeah. Did you scare the hell out of him, Deb? Uh, I think she scared him, Bobby.
I'm sure she did. She
Yeah.
could scare Satan.
You live with her, buddy, and she knows where you sleep. Go ahead, keep it up. Oh shoot! But no, seriously, yeah, that freaked me out. Just seeing his face as a young kid. Um, but he was one of the nicest guys. Maybe, maybe. I think we might have to get together and go there. I want to check that out.
Yeah,
I
that's a
got
good
more
idea.
free time now. I can start checking more stuff out. It, which is true. I really do, and I don't know what I'm doing with it yet. But yeah, but anyhow, with all those people coming, it's going to be interesting at the case, man. That we've had case. I told Sean Stifler that the one day. He said, "The what? Oh, okay, yeah." Uh, but yeah, that's just the beginning, or near the end of what everything I'm doing. Next month, uh, the 18th and 19th at the Metroplex, and they say Gerard, Youngstown, Liberty, but it's right off Interstate 80 as you get into Ohio, Belmont Avenue. I'm going to be at the Psychic Fair there, and that I'll be speaking on the paranormal Bigfoot. That's a That's a good subject. Yeah, that
Yeah.
is a good subject. I won't delve too far into that one. Uh, but I'm going to be at Salt Fork State Park. I got to put my glasses on because I can't read my own writing. Uh, on May 3rd for the Bigfoot conference there. I'm a vendor. But the same weekend is the Flatwood Monsters thing. Um, two events I'm going to go to in June. I didn't get my application in time for Creep It Real, but I'm coming. Uh, you got,
We will
I
be
was going to
there.
say you guys will be there. But on the 13th of June, I'll be up in Marionville at the Forest County Bigfoot Festival. I'm going to probably help a friend of mine vend there. Um, and I'm coming back to Middlefield, Ohio, on July 11th. We went there last year as a speaker slash vendor, and I'm thinking first year Amish country. We'll see what happens. You know, I didn't expect much. They knocked my socks off. Over 1,000 people come through.
Wow.
Yes, and I was asked back to speak again this year and vend, and that's what I'm doing. Uh,
That's awesome.
I don't like doing 2 years in a row, but that the response from the people and in the building they had the speakers, it was packed house for everybody. They all wanted to hear and see. So I made up my mind. I got to get my application in for Kecksburg. I keep forgetting. Um, Now I got to make this announcement. I'm sorry to say, for Three Soul Paranormal, they need to, on August 8th, they need to be down at Beaver Creek at Gretchen's Lock. I'm back, baby. I'm speaking there. That's where I met these guys at, and we become really good friends.
They are good
Them and their
guys.
spouses, they are.
Yep.
I love them. And
Yep.
poor Frank, he gets verbally abused by me. I like picking on Frank. He's a great guy.
Yeah, they're
Um,
good. They're good guys. We've been trying to connect with them for the last couple of years, and just it's never worked out. But we're going to get out there with them one time for sure.
uh, I got dates for when they're going to be up in Jamestown. The next 2 dates, I'll give it to you when I got to look at the messages. Um, but September, it was going to be a super busy month, but it ended up an event was canceled. So I'm fine with that because it was 3 weekends in a row. And I was worried about how in the hell I'm going to do this because each weekend I got to stay away for it. But the one canceled. Um, I'm going to be at White Deer Park, uh, Bluegrass and Bigfoot event.
Oh, that would be fun.
Oh, Henry, yeah, I definitely. Did I just say, oh, Henry?
You
I'm,
did.
oh, my God. Sorry, Henry. Calling you a candy
He's never
bar.
heard that. Yeah, he's never heard that before.
No, he never heard that before. But,
Henry's going to be on my podcast tomorrow night.
uh-oh. Well, oh, Henry. But anyhow, I'll be speaking there at White Deer Park in New Columbia, Pennsylvania. And so I'm going to have fun with that one. And then, of course, there in Johnstown, the Masonic Temple, 26th and 27th. So, Henry, what was that date again on the jail? Because it looks like I don't have nothing in October. Yes, I did, Deb, last year.
That's one we've talked about going to, but it just never worked out as well.
Yeah, I got Eric Altman invited me last year to come, and I discussed it with the wife. She says go for it, so I went. I had a great. Yes, you are going to have to clone me.
This world
Make
could
three
not
of them.
handle two of you, Bill.
What's
This
that?
world could not handle you. This world
Not,
could not handle three of you.
why not?
Did you ever see the movie Multiplicity with Michael Keaton?
No.
Oh, he cloned himself, and then his clone cloned himself, and then the clone clones himself, and it's hysterical. It's a hysterical movie. Definitely watch it if you're into Michael Keaton.
I'm writing
So
this
Henry
date down.
says
I'm writing
October
it down.
24th. Yep.
Yes.
He said, "Come on down."
Yeah. I just see how everything goes. I might just show up. I just might show up. Because it's starting to get the colder weather. Head south, young man. Head south. But yeah, I got some friends down in Florida I'd like to go see too. So this might work out.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Look at us bringing people together. That's exactly what this is all about.
Yes, it is. It sure is. And, you know, my motto is meet people, share your experiences, share your knowledge, and be nice to each other.
It's not that hard. It really isn't.
Some days it is, but depends who you run into. But
I'm the
no,
type of
seriously,
person is even if I don't like somebody, they will probably never know that I don't like them because I'm going to give them the same respect I'm going to give anybody else.
I do
Until
too.
you give me
To
a
a
reason
certain
to treat you differently,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yep. And believe me, the ones that found out the bad side of me realized they went too far. And I try to be nice. I've taken some slack from some people, but then I snapped. you know, back up, change that attitude with me. Don't talk to me that way. Don't talk to my friends that way. I'm done with this crap. You are
yeah.
done. And I did call a couple people out on social media for their crap. And I don't like doing that because then I seem like a bad guy, but they deserved it.
Yep.
And it's just a couple people. Other ones I just ignore.
I've unfollowed two people on our team, other paranormal teams because of the way they act, the way they treat people, um, stuff like that. I
No,
don't ever put myself in their drama. But if you're creating drama, I have no need for you. So I remove them. And then we had one
yep.
guy that was sharing evidence as his own that was somebody else's.
That was
And
recently, wasn't it? Was that the one
and Deborah called
recently?
him out on
Yeah.
it. Yep. Yep. And Deborah
Yeah.
called him out on it. And so did other people.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not cool. It's not cool.
Um, no, You don't take someone else's evidence and claim it as your own.
Never.
Um, don't if you do an investigation with somebody, I don't care if it's cryptid or paranormal or whatever, and you come up with some evidence, you it's both ends. It's not just you. It's not about you. It's about the evidence. It's about the whole 9 yards of the paranormal cryptid world. It's not you. Where we got a lot of people out there in both fields that want to be top dog. Why? Why? Your 15 minutes of fame ain't getting you nowhere.
Nope. Nope.
You know, they think it is, think they're going to make money at it. And to me, this is the most expensive damn hobby I ever had.
Yes.
You're laughing, but you know I'm right too, right?
Yes.
It is. And
Yes, it is.
you know, and last year I didn't get out and research that much because I couldn't be with my wife and that. Uh, Jay Blackburn, you got that right, brother. You got that right.
Yeah.
And it is nothing but egos. And the hell, put your ego at the door. I did a couple Bigfoot campouts at Salt Fork, and the key thing was hit that gate, put your egos outside of it. Don't come in with it because you'll leave. Because
Yep.
we're all here to get along, research together if you want, or go by yourself. I'm not, and I had great campouts.
Yeah.
We didn't have the egos. We didn't have people trying to boss you around. I had them coming from Indiana, West Virginia. Yeah, I know. uh, I think it's more expensive than a Bigfoot. Oh, uh, but the thing is, if you leave the egos out of it and share what you've learned and experienced, and that, it's going to help the whole situation of finding out and understanding. And I preach that from day one. Share your knowledge, share your
Yep.
experiences. Uh,
Yep.
we got those certain few.
Well, I think I told you this story before, but for those who are listening that hadn't heard it before, a couple years ago we were in Gettysburg, and we stopped at this little watering hole there called the Reliant Mine Saloon, and it's like walking into a mine. You're kind of underground. Anyway, we're sitting in this little saloon having a couple beverages, and there's two guys that come in next to me, both head to toe in camouflage, and they're talking about between themselves. And every once in a while, I hear Bigfoot come up, so my ears kind of like perking up because I'm like, oh, now you got me interested. And finally, the guy said something to me, and I'm like, I wasn't eavesdropping, but every time you say Bigfoot, it strikes a nerve with me, and I want to know more. So I'm talking to these guys, and the one guy says, "Have you ever seen a picture of a real Bigfoot?" And I said, truthfully, I don't know if I have or not. I said because I don't know whether to believe um, what you see on the internet or not. I mean, it's without knowing the people, it's hard to know, right?
Yep.
And he's like, I can show you some pictures right now that'll blow you away. And they were taken 3 miles down the road here. And I'm like, what? And he starts flipping through this phone and he's showing me picture after picture after picture. And I'm like, why you're not sharing these with the world? And he looked at me and he's like, exactly what you just said. Nobody wants to believe it. And I'm like, what? He's like, if you put something out there, this person's going to say it's fake. This person's going to say it's fake. This person's going to call you a liar. He said, so what's even the point? We share it within our group and within our whatever
Yeah.
community, and that's pretty all we share. Pretty sure all we share it with anymore.
And
And
yeah,
I totally get it, but for somebody like me that wants to see it, wow.
well, that's like my friend Jay Fouch from Conshohocken, Ohio. Um, this man is something else. He don't care what you think of his pictures. And believe me, some of you can't really tell. It's just a shape. But the other ones, you know what it is. And I said, why don't you share those more? He says, I share it on my group. He says, but I do not care what people say. It's not AI. It's not CGI. None of this stuff is. He says, I'm taking these pictures at 300 yards away, from where I have to sit. Well, he got himself a better camera, so he's getting a lot more better pictures. But the thing is, like he said, he don't care what people think. He's doing this for him. He wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I love him for that. I really do. And he's out there all the time. When he's not working, he gets out there. And he has tons and tons and tons of pictures. Uh, you're right, Henry. You're 110% right. You know, and it's interesting because each tribe got their own thing with it. I've down your ways the Seminoles. Am I right? Up here we
I
got
think so.
Lakotas. They got the Senecas. You know, and they they describe them, but they got different names. Some had back in the day traded with them. You know, some calls them said that they came from the sky. Okay, maybe so. I'm not saying they do because my sighting was 15 feet away from me.
Wow.
And yes, it scared the living crap out of me. First time in my life I ever got that scared. Um, what I presume it's flesh and blood. I didn't see it jump through a portal. I didn't say, hey, beam me up, Scotty. I did not see that. So I can't say it does that stuff.
Right.
You know, so I still presume it's flesh and blood. But I'm going to throw this but in there so everyone understands. I don't know, and I'm not going to say it is till we have evidence.
Yep.
And I'm keeping an open mind to it.
Yep.
And that's what every researcher got to do. I don't give a shit what field they're in.
Yep.
Keep an open mind
Oh.
and be honest about what you're seeing or hearing, or you got keep an open mind. And I got an open mind about that skull staring at me and lights up on his eyes behind you. Bobby, behind you.
Right behind me.
Yeah, over your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
It's staring me down.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing I ain't there. I'd poke it in the eyes. At least it ain't red eyes.
Eventually.
Okay. But yeah, so, you know, like the experiences I had at the the old VA hospital in Butler. You know, that was some crazy ass shit there. I'm being straight
I,
up.
I've heard a lot of things about that.
Um, every floor, the basement and sub basement, eh, there was something going on every floor. 5 floors, basement, sub basement, 228,000 square foot building. It was awesome. I'm going to say it was awesome because all the
And that's
excitement, you know, and the
yeah,
experiences. And I enjoyed it, except for when I went into that one atrium room and the temperature dropped 15, 20 degrees and you could feel something not happy. So I backed out. I had Ghost Chick. I was there with Ghost Chick Angel. And I went back up to her. I says, that atrium got something bad in it. Really? And we went in, back in, and she went, whoa, is it cold? And he's right over there. I went, okay. And she said, she looked at me, she says, he's not evil. He's pissed off. I went, okay. And he was, you could tell from uh, everything. And he wanted to follow us out. And Andrew, come on, people, tell me he ain't allowed to follow you. Because there was like 5 of us uh, in the room. And I'm standing near the windows of that atrium. It was warmer by the windows than it was in the middle of the room. And that was weird. And so when we got out of there, you felt the difference as soon as you crossed the doorway. And as soon as you got out of that room, temperature came back up. That was crazy. That was crazy. And I had a Vietnam veteran. He was in the psych unit of the hospital there. And Angel put the headphones on so she couldn't hear us asking the questions, but can hear his response, and she was recording it.
mhm.
And the one, the gentleman that helped get us in there, uh, he was the Navy, retired Navy, and he asked, Joe was his name. He says, Joe, you, because we ended up getting his name, and he goes, Joe, was you a Navy person? F you, squid. Plain as day in the recording. And Angel repeated it, and I'm busted up laughing. Then I go, Semper Fi. You know, every time I spoke, my meters went crazy with him responding, and, and Angel was repeating what he was saying. And her daughter-in-law was there too. He was responding to her and me. Everyone else he ignored. But I love that. And he said F you, but the whole word. And I'm like, whoa. I looked at him, I said, he don't like you.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I typically get cussed out when we go to places. I get called all kinds of names, and I have no idea why they pick me, but it's okay. I don't mind. Because
You
even bad
sure it's
reactions are
the
better than
entities or it's not Deborah?
it probably is. She's probably disguising her voice.
uh, but no, honestly, Hillview down in the basement. You know what I'm going to say. I started to go in that room and I felt that hand hit my chest.
Mhm.
It's like, you're not going. It's like, so I turned around, I went back up. I said, Roger, he hit me in the chest. And Roger's laughing at me. He knew what was going to happen. Oh, no,
we were
it's
just
like,
at we went to the Bel Air house last Friday, a
yes.
week ago, and we did a three-person Estes. I was upstairs in the attic. Ryan from Trepsels was down in the basement, and Mark, our team member, was down on the second floor in one of the bedrooms. And they were recording it. The Ghost Sisters were with us, which was pretty cool. And they were asking all the questions down in the living room. And at some point, I felt somebody tap me out. They come up and tap me on the knee. And when I came out of it and I looked up, there's nobody there. And I'm like, I'm looking all around, and I can hear them now on the live cracking up. They're like, we were telling them to tap you on the hat, tap not, and they said they must have asked me 5 or 6 times. They asked them to tap me on the hat, and eventually they tapped me on the knee, and just that was a moment that I was like, wow, that was really cool.
Yep.
But I had like 9 layers of goosebumps because there was clearly nobody around me.
Yeah. Like when I got that hand in the chest, man, the goosebumps going. It's like,
Yeah,
oh, wow. Because you could feel it
yeah.
was a hand. You could feel it. And that was crazy. It's like, whoa, I love
That
this.
feeling you can't replicate that feeling no matter
No.
what you think about or what happens. You can't replicate that feeling, and it's just I can't even tell you what the feeling is. It's like euphoria
Yep.
or something. I mean, it just takes over your whole body, and you're like, wow.
Yep. Um, Sometime this year, I'm going down to the Ross house, so I'm going to do something down there. I got to go there. I love Cindy. She's a hell of a woman.
Yep,
She's a great woman, and I got a lot of respect for her too. It's
yep,
you know, Ross house and Bel Air house is close together.
yep,
know,
yep. Very close.
yeah, and but I'm definitely going to do something at Cindy's because
We've been to Cindy's three. I can't remember if it's 3 or 4 times now.
yeah,
We don't usually get a lot, but all of our friends get so much activity down there, and it just I don't know if it's just the luck of the draw, but I love going to
exactly.
that house. It's beautiful. It's very well kept. It's clean. I mean, Cindy's doing it right for sure.
Well, they just different names. Chupacabra, I don't want to run into one. That- And I don't know. Truthfully, I don't know. I never seen them do it. Jump interdimensional stuff. I never seen Bigfoot do interdimensional stuff. Can they? Yes, possibility. I'm not going to say yeah, that's right because I don't know. It's a
You don't
possibility.
know.
Um, like I said, the one I saw, I didn't see it jump through a portal. I didn't see it say beam me up. Um, Other ones said they seen them go through portals. Can they all be interdimensional? Possibility. Can some? Possibility. I'm not. I'm far from an expert. I've done a lot of research, but I'm far from an expert to say, yeah, I know this for a fact. I know some things, like depends how many knocks you hear in the woods. You know, that's the Indians sending out signals. I,
Mm.
I know somebody got their friends because they wanted to do tree knocks, see if they get a response. And they knew about where they were at, so they were across the river from them. They did this tree knock, crack, crack, crack. Waited about 30 seconds, crack. They, the people, oh, wow, 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 got a response. And so they did it again. Another 30 seconds, a single crack. And then they called them and they answered them. How you like our single crack? They were mad. But you don't know what's
You don't
making
know.
that. Yeah, and that's the point they were proving. You
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, tree structures. Do we know they're making them? No. We definitely suspect they're making them,
Yep.
but not all
Yep.
tree structures are Bigfoot. Like, not everything in the woods is Bigfoot. And I get upset with that.
Mhm.
When people
Mhm.
say, yeah, Bigfoot, Bigfoot. You see him? Tell me.
Yeah.
Please tell me. But,
Yes.
I have debunked tree structures. They're easy to debunk. Um, can't debunk them all, but you got to look at it as a skeptic. Do your research as a skeptic. Um, you can't just say, all right, yeah, no, yeah, no, no. Look at it, study it, decide. On these tree structures, natural, you know, weather, other animals, human,
Human.
yeah, you don't know. And so
I
you
I
just,
don't trust people enough. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And, and Mary Fabian, me and her did a research, Indiana, Cambria County line. And it was on a Saturday or Wednesday after the sighting. And she didn't tell me till we were going there that she had three other people coming that want to learn how to research. And at that point, she was having a hard time getting around the woods, so we made her home base at her truck. She had me take these three. I'm glad I did because they were very open minded and learning. But I was kind of ticked off at Mary for doing that to me without forewarning me. Uh, but you know, I've shown different tree structures. I says you got to study them. I have to show them a couple different ones. Come up to this third one, and I asked them what they thought. And they were looking at, looking at, looking at. Oh, we think Bigfoot did this one. I thought you were studying it. We did. Look at it again. They're looking. Oh, well, we think. Look at it. Right in the center is rotted out. And that's what broke this off. This fell over on it from wind. It wasn't pushed over. This one was pushed over, but it could have been a bear. We don't know. I says, then I show him the other one, and it's a twist break. And I told them to study it. They studied it. Two of them said that it was a natural. One said wasn't sure. I said, these two are right. Well, how do you know? Center of that one's rotted. So storm twisted and broke it. High winds.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Then it's kind of weird. It's in my Google photos somewhere. We found clean turkey bones on top of a bunch of turkey feathers, stacked up neat near one tree structure. Not right on the tree structure, but near it. The feathers was laid on the ground and the bones were stacked on top of it. What did that? I'm not going to say Bigfoot did. I didn't see him do it. I suspect he did because there's that tree structure that we couldn't explain what made it. We got this. Can't explain how that got there stacked up in the whole 9 yards. So I suspect it probably was Bigfoot. Am I right? Probably not. you know, but that's the things you got to look at as researchers out there when you're doing a cryptid research. You got to look at everything. Yeah.
Yep.
You're gonna get me in trouble. Stan Gordon gonna hate me for this. That was a Russian weather satellite. And the federal government thought it was a spy satellite. It might have been a spy satellite, but I believe it was a weather satellite. And yes, the government stepped right in and snagged it up. And
Our government has covered up so much.
that's another statement. I know a gentleman. I haven't heard of that one.
It's really interesting. We went to it last year. We went to the Shanley Hotel, and when we left there, a group of us drove down, and it was 30 minutes maybe from the Shanley, and there was a little wait to get in, but really, really interesting stuff. When I left, I was like, I have way more questions than I ever had before,
Yep.
and it just gives you more questions and
That's the
answers.
thing.
But it makes you think.
That's the thing. You start down that rabbit hole.
Yep.
Yes, Mark, you're right. Yep. You know, that's the thing. We don't really. What about Kecksburg, Deborah?
Yep. Yeah, those are back for Kecksburg.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They all saw it crash. They all saw the government was right there. So they were tracking that son of a bitch from the time it hit the atmosphere. They
Yeah.
And yes, Men in Black snagged it up. So I still believe it was a weather satellite. It might have been a spy satellite. I don't know. I could be 100% wrong, but that's my theory on it. And the people of Kecksburg, some that are still alive talked a little bit about it. But what everyone has said is how the government showed up right away. and it was right away. So uh,
Yep.
something was up with it. I don't think it was a UFO. I really don't. And from the replica one they have there at Kecksburg, and supposedly the inscriptions that was on it, Russian. So that's what I
That's
believe.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Um, it is interesting though, and like I said, I can be 100% wrong. I
What are your thoughts? I can't think of the name of the place. Deborah, help me out with the name of the place. In New Jersey, the wooded area in New Jersey that everybody wants to go
Pine
investigate.
Barrens,
Pine
Pine
Barrens.
Barrens, the
What
Jersey
are your
Devil.
thoughts on that?
I'm not sure. It's a
I mean, like
cryptid.
they claim cryptid, they claim aliens, they pretty much claim everything, right?
Yeah, like
She's
most
yelling,
cryptids.
the Pine Barrens.
that that's the thing. People go crazy on this cryptid stuff because they don't know, and they say it's this, it's that. Uh, I don't know. You know, I was supposed to go there a couple years ago with Mike Balaman, and I couldn't do it. Uh, I really wanted to go, but his research didn't come up with anything spectacular that really helped.
And there's also a military base right there, right?
Right near there, yeah,
Yeah. I think some parts of it you're literally up to the fence of
yeah.
the military base, and that right there tells me that's more than I want to encounter. I'm not messing with the military and the government. Um,
We'll
Picking the
see.
right spot, I would go there, but I don't want to go that close.
We'll see.
Kelly Dodd said we should go camping there. Let's go.
uh, it'd be interesting. Definitely be interesting.
So we
Um,
watch Project Fear on YouTube, and
yeah.
they just did a two-part series where they were out there, and I like them. They over essentialize everything, but just from seeing them out there and what they were looking at, I'm like, that would be a cool place to go and check out. Um, but there's too much. There's raccoons and there's bears and there's deer and there's too many other things that it could be, and you're in the dark looking for something that you will never see. So,
Yeah.
the,
Okay.
a
Wait a minute.
daytime
Wait a minute.
exploration, I'm all about.
Nacho, stop right there. How do you know you'll never see it?
You're in the dark. You can't see 5 feet in front of your face. You're
Your
I don't.
your eyes adjust to the darkness unless you keep shining a light in it.
Well, I spent
Uh, uh,
13 months in the desert where you can't see anything at night, and I can tell you the entire 13 months I couldn't see anything at night. And I was a truck driver. I drove trucks through the desert in the middle of the night, following a truck with just this dimmest light on, and you had to
that
follow that
dimmest
thing.
light screws up your eyesight in the
Yes,
dark.
yes.
But if you're in the Pine Barrens, don't use a light. You can see everything.
I would go during the day.
Me too. Because I don't know if I want to run into the Jersey Devil just because of its name, Devil.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
But
I don't know. I just think at night it changes everything that you're, and maybe I shouldn't say you're not going to see it, but there's too many other things out there that you would want to see that you're not going to be able to see, and you're going to hear a movement, and 9 times out of 10 you're not going to know what that movement was, And you're
Well,
going to go straight to, oh my gosh, that was the Jersey Devil. Well, it was probably a raccoon, a rabbit, a chipmunk, a squirrel, a bear. Hopefully, it
yeah,
wasn't a bear, a
I
deer.
I
There's too
can
many other
I
things
can
that live out
relate
there.
to that. I can relate to that. Beth and I was camping out the Shenango Reservoir, and she went in the tent to lay down. And it's about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. I'm sitting next to the fire because I enjoyed doing that. And she was tired. So she went in because she enjoyed doing that too. But I hear something in the bushes near the tent. And I'm looking like, what the heck is that? It's making some kind of noise. And all of a sudden it shot out of those bushes and right past me. Made me jump.
Yeah.
That damn raccoon made more noise than a bull moose.
Yes. Yes.
It,
Yes.
it, you know, and one thing, if you're going to do any night investigations, do a couple day investigation in that area. Get
Get to know the
familiarized
area.
with it
Yep.
because at
Yep.
night it changes. It's
Yep.
totally changed.
Yes.
So, and I know that for a fact. But, and I knew the area. Did you see Gwen Purcell's thing on that? Um, I'm not sure.
Whoops.
No, I didn't. How many questions you're throwing at me at one time, lady? Slow down.
That was me just bumping the wrong button.
No, I didn't watch the Ghost Sisters last night. Um, I I was working down and cleaning out our room, and packing some stuff up downstairs. But that's kind of messed up that massacre there. Um,
Yeah.
was it a Yeti? I don't know. Was it a dog man? The way it tore them up, I don't
Mhm.
know. I'm the one that threw that in there. Everyone keeps saying a Yeti, but I don't know. All those lives lost. You
Mhm.
know, so and it's going to remain a mystery. Yeah,
Yep.
and we're going to find out. I do believe. Never will.
No.
Yeah. But so what happened on the Ghost Sisters yesterday?
I didn't watch it. I don't know. Oh,
Well,
here.
she asked
Deborah
the
has
question.
another.
She must have known.
Deborah has another one for you.
Deborah, yes, Yeti's a Bigfoot. It's a snowbird type though that doesn't go south. Now you're asking all these questions about the different Bigfoots. They're like humans, different shapes, color, weight, the whole 9 yards. You know, we got the gray ones, we got the white ones up Carbon County, got the white ones up there. There's white ones all over the place, but that Carbon County, Pennsylvania is known for the white ones there. Um, the one I saw was dark brown. Skin was darker brown. And from the skin I saw, because I was only 15 feet away. Uh, heard of black, red hair. So, different heights. And I believe the size depends on the area they live. Uh, out the Pacific Northwest and up in Canada, 12, 14, some people say 16 feet. That, I don't know about the 16 footers.
That's
Uh,
insane.
yeah. Uh, 12 foot, I can buy. Uh, Around Pennsylvania and that, uh, common size is around 7 foot that's reported. You know, PA, Ohio, and my sighting was in Ohio. So the grass called the grass man. Uh, Florida, the skunk ape.
Mhm.
Uh, it depends on where you're at, what part of the country, what the nickname they gave them. Basically, what it comes down to. Are they aggressive? Some can be. Uh, I believe the majority are not. They're inquisitive, but they don't want to get near us. And I can understand that. Who wants to get near humans that are nuts?
Bingo.
You know, so I don't know. It's just a little bit of everything mixed together. A friend of mine, Eastern PA, he's coming from his research area, driving down the road. One crossed the road in front of him on up a little ways. And he'd seen it kind of cloaked out and got cloaked, he thought, the way it went, crossing the road. Am I going to call him a liar? Hell no, he's a researcher.
Right? He's the one who
And
saw it.
straight up, he called me right away and he was shook up.
Mm.
And I told him, I said, Bob, you seen something? Do something. But don't doubt yourself that you saw this. I says, but think about it. And think exactly how it went from crossing the road, full figure, to going cloak. Give me a call tomorrow. Let me know. And that's what he did. And he explained it. And I said, I believe you saw that. I really do. Um, could have been his mind playing tricks, possibility. Yeah, but we don't know. So,
Queen of the question strikes again.
believe it or not, they blend in well when they're surrounded. Um, the reason I say that, oh, yes, Kelly, you're right. I'm going with that because I'd avoid us too. Humans are ignorant. But I'm being honest there. But
Yes.
me and two friends were out near here and went for a hike. I can't 100% say for sure I saw it hiding behind this one tree and every now and then looking, even though I try to get pictures of it. Uh, the pictures weren't that good off my phone because of the distance. But I believe they try to blend in with the surrounding. If you live in a big city, you become street smarts.
Yep.
You live in the woods, uh, you're going to become wood smarts. You know what's going on. And my shepherd's crying for attention. But she's my girl. She's been right up my butt more so now than ever.
Yep.
But I took her on an investigation right after we got her. We rescued her from Texas. And it was near Christmas time. And of course, I couldn't get anyone to go with me to this area. And they were saying some really weird stuff going on back there. They're not sure what it is. I said, well, I don't want to go by myself. But so I took her. We're walking down this cornfield at over 300 yards to get to the wood line. And she's all happy go lucky, just a strutting, checking everything out, sniffing in the air, sniffing the ground, just keep on walking, all happy go lucky. And I'm like, okay, this is all right. As soon as we stepped inside that wood line, she went on high alert. The hair on the back of her neck was standing up. I went, whoa. And I'm getting a bad gut feeling. And that's something I tell everyone. Pay attention to your gut when you're out there. And I'm looking around and I'm saying, I don't like the feeling of this. She don't like the feeling of this. I snapped a bunch of pictures. There was one tree, the branch came out, straight out. And it was about 18 inches round and it went straight up. And I'm looking at that real close. And you can see rub marks coming off the top of it. So something sits up there and jumps down. And I go, all right, Venus, let's get out of here. And she turns and we head out. We had to go about 100 yards before she calmed down. And I'm like, I'm getting the hell out of here fast. Come on, walk faster. And she had no problem keeping up, moving quicker. She wanted out of there too because she knew there was something wrong there. So gut feeling in her said it all.
Yeah.
And I saw the lady last year that told me about it. She said, you haven't come back there, have you? I said, nope. I'm not going to.
Not going to either.
Nope, nope, nope. There's something
I
evil
mean,
back there, and I'm not dealing with it.
and it's just like with the paranormal. You can walk through a place and tell where things feel really off.
Yep.
Um, and I believe that to be true for anything that you're doing. You could just be out in general population, and you could be somewhere you're like, nope, this isn't for me. I've got to get out of here. So I think that more people should trust their gut instincts in daily life, not even just investigating something. Daily life. If your gut instinct says get out of there, don't argue. Just get.
Yeah. Yeah. I tell everybody I had to let her out. She's starting to whine at the door. But sometimes on that smell part. But I tell everyone, trust their damn guts. Always trust their gut. If it don't feel right, I don't care where you at. It don't have to be in the woods. It could be on the streets. Your gut say something's wrong up ahead. Don't go ahead. You might be getting robbed or shot or stabbed. Yes. Don't go. Yes. Your gut's telling you something.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So now with the smell, my theory on the smell is like a skunk. It's a warning. Get the hell away. And the one I saw at 15 feet away did not give off an odor. And if it didn't do a slight movement and I caught it with my peripheral vision, I would have never saw that sucker. It's just a freak chance.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying a freak chance, but a lot of people says you were supposed to see it. Okay.
And that's, I'm a believer in that thing. That is, if it happened to you, you were supposed to see it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you could put 100 people out there and one person sees something. That's because that person was supposed to see it for whatever reason. That was supposed to be.
Yes, and I believe that too. And even though it scared the living crap out of me, I'm glad I saw it.
Yes. Yes.
The only thing it did, though, and I'm being dead serious, it shoved me in that rabbit hole full force. But I'm
Yes.
going down that rabbit hole. And because it just, at first couple of weeks, I did not want to go back in the woods. I admit it. And that's the first time I got scared. And I've been startled in my life. I was never scared.
Mm-hmm.
And that gave me PTSD.
Right.
So,
Yep.
and it took a lot, different ones talking to me, explaining things to me. Um, and the one person that kind of helped get me out of my shell, uh, the researcher from down south, is Kumbo Baker.
Mm.
He called me, and it kind of freaked me out when he introduced himself on the phone and said who he was. And I've heard of him. He goes, I hope you don't mind me calling you, but I heard you had an experience and you're having a hard time dealing with it. I went, yes, I am. He goes, well, Mary was telling me about it, and she said how bad it affected you, and you're a great researcher. She's been out with you several times, Mary Fabian, and she don't want you to give up on this because you're that good of a researcher. I went, I'm just doing what I think's best when I was out there. He goes, talk about it. What, the research? No, you know what I mean. Talk about it. It will help you. You'll get through it.
Yep.
It will still affect you at times. He said, I've had several sightings. He says, each one affected me different. He says, if and when you see another one, it might affect you the same or it might affect you different. And I went, whatever it is, if I do see one, that's great. And he goes, don't give up the research.
Yep.
I said, I'll think about it, because it really did affect me bad.
Yeah. Yes.
And I hated that. And I think what I hated the most about it is how scared I got. Um, but I did more thinking of it. These other Bigfooters invited me to a camp out with them. The end of the year camp out. We're not researching. We're just all getting together, socializing. And that's when I met a bunch of great people from Indiana, West Virginia, Ohio, PA. They all converged together. And, and it was just to socialize it. We weren't researching. And Amy Boo was there, Bigfoot Amy. And me and her was talking before that night's campfire. Everyone goes and sits around the campfire and BS. They had a big campfire ring. There's like 25 of us there. But I was walking over to the campfire. Amy goes, Bill, I know you had that sighting. I know it was recent. Would you like to tell the people about it? I'm like, damn, Kumbo, he's going to make me speak about it. Because that's what was popping in my head. I went, I'll try. And so a bunch of us are all sitting there. I know several of them, and we're sitting there BS. And Amy stood up. She says, folks, we're doing something a little different tonight. A lot of you have not met Bill yet. very recently he had a Bigfoot sighting, and I asked him if he'd like to talk about it and tell about it, and he said he would. I gave him a very short thing on it because it was still bothering me,
Yeah.
and I sit down. Well, Joe Kesky, me and him become good friends. Him and his wife and kids, two boys. From this, Joe stood up. He says, "Some of you know my experience. Bill don't. And a few yins over there don't." He says, "So I'm going to tell you." His was frightful, buddy. Very scary. And I'm sitting there, I put my head down thinking, because this thing was charging them, charging at them, cutting through a pond to get to them. And I got my head down thinking, I was 15 feet away from mine. If it would have charged me, I'd be dead. And tears start rolling down my eyes from that. Just thinking that, I'd be dead.
Yeah.
And next morning, I talked to Joe about it. I said, "Joe, you scared the hell out of me." I said, "I thought my Bigfoot sighting scared me, but you scared the hell out of me." He goes, "Really?" I said, "That sighting of yours. Mine was 15 feet from it." I said, "You was a couple hundred yards, and this thing was coming full bore at you to get you." I go, "That mine did that, I would not be here." And it really got to me. I
For
said,
sure.
your story got to me. And it did. You know, then I spoke up in Marionville at the Forest County Bigfoot Festival a couple years back. And during the round table, uh, some lady asked, "Do you think they're all aggressive?" Well, Turtle Man was here, Jim Boardwine from Mountain Man, then me, and then five more people going down, including Cliff. We won't go there. But anyhow, um, Turtle Man stood up first. He goes, "You get close to them, yes, they get very aggressive. You don't get close to any of them." And I went, "Oh, bullshit." Like that. And he heard me. I thought I said it low enough. Jim Boardwine started laughing. And Turtle Man looks at me. "I'm telling you, yes, they do." Okay, whatever. Yeah, say what you want to say. Uh, his experience, yes, got aggressive. Me, Jim Boardwine stands up to say his piece on it. He says, "Mine was several hundred yards away from me. I can't say either way." But I think Bill got something to say on this. I'm like, all right, I got to be diplomatic.
Well,
So I stood up. I says, "Turtle Man, I'm not disagreeing that they get aggressive when you get close to them. But my sighting was 15 feet away, and it was staring my butt down and did not get mean. If it got mean and aggressive, I wouldn't be here."
mhm.
I said, "So they don't all get that way. Do I believe they can be aggressive in me? Yes. You interrupt the hunt, you get too close to a young one. I believe that.
Yep.
You know, that's like
Yep.
any parent. Get close to their kids, look out."
Yep.
So I go, "So with your experience, yes. With mine, no." So that's where I'm going with this. I said, "That's all I'm going to say on it." Because I was going to rip Turtleman up one side and down the other for saying yes, yes, yes. You don't really know. You know turtles. You don't know Bigfoot. Uh, but
I love Turtle Man.
he's funny. That yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah, yeah,
hysterical.
yeah, gets on my nerves though. Um,
Uh,
yeah, every person come up and talk to him, he has to do that. Drives me nuts. But anyhow, he is a good man.
So yes, I think so. Let's go back to the where they smell like skunk sometimes.
Not
Um,
skunk.
they're obviously in the wild,
Not skunk.
and there's skunks in the wild. So you think they obviously could run across the skunk, right? So that could be a reason why maybe they smell like a
Wait a
skunk.
minute. Wait a minute.
Would they eat a skunk?
Wait a minute. They use them for toilet paper.
And so they could definitely smell like skunk for
They
that,
use them
right?
toilet paper. That's why they smell like
Yes.
wet dog, shit, and skunk.
Yes.
I had to do that one. Uh,
Yeah,
I
that's good.
believe they do that as a deterrent. They can put it off on demand.
Okay. But I even thought even less than that is they're out there, they run across the skunk. Would they eat it?
I can't say one way or the other.
So I mean, you would think that if they would eat a deer or a turkey or whatever else, they come across a skunk and they're hungry,
I'm hearing something
snatch one
outside
up.
here. A damn
Oh,
lawnmower.
ah, it's too early for that.
Yeah.
Not early in the day, but early in the year.
Yeah, my tulips came up this high so far.
Oh,
I'm
well, and then it's
impressed.
going to snow next week.
What what Bigfoot show are you talking about? Not finding Bigfoot? All right, here's what I'm going to say. I I can't say much on the paranormal shows because I don't really like watching them. Um, I got something against Expedition Bigfoot. One thing, and I like that show, except for one thing they did. But um, I don't care what TV show it is about Bigfoot, they're never going to find them. And if they do, they're not going to show it because that ends the show, ends the money coming in for the producers. My point of view. On the paranormal shows, I like I said, I don't. I watch podcasts on them. I can't sit there and watch these guys act like idiots on TV. I'm trying to think which one it was. Uh, um, Not the Penn State one. Uh, they had a good one I watched, and that actually got me to start watching some. And the very next one, I went, what the heck? Who was that? I can't remember. And I said, nope, shut it off. Um, Expedition Bigfoot. They got the primate pheromones. And I'm thinking, ooh, like deer hunting, no estrogen. Yes, yes. The one thing they did totally freaking wrong is they took that drone and sprayed that whole few hundred acres uh, with it instead of having one little spot to have them come in there. They sprayed the whole thing.
Yeah.
How are they covering all that?
Yeah.
They're not.
You can't cover it all, right?
Uh, I'm a hunter. I know about this stuff. I got so mad I almost broke my TV. And I love Expedition Bigfoot. I won't watch it after that. Yes, I have found those some nests. Those are interesting. Eh, but um, where they first found the nest as a bird's nest was out the Pacific Northwest. And I talked to a couple of the researchers from there. they have to climb through mountain laurels to get in there to where those nests were at. And when they found them, they about filled their pants. So, yeah, and I didn't find a group of nests. I found two. One close to me here, and the other one was where Mary Fabian went to do that research, Indiana, Cambria County. Well, my buddy Micah found it. Uh, I had him meet us, and he went off by himself. And the people that were with me, they said, "You gonna say something to him?" I says, "No. He might get lost." I said, "No, he won't. He hunts these woods. That's why I had him here. He knows these woods perfectly." I said, "I know him somewhat, but he knows them perfectly." Oh, okay. Next thing I know, he's calling me. "Bill, you got to come check this out." Check what out? So I don't know exactly what it is, but it's big. Where you at? I says, "Because you headed toward the road." He says, "I'm not that far from the road." I says, "All right, stay there." The group wanted to come with me. I says, "No, walk around this area. Don't go too far, and I'll be right back." It's probably nothing he found. I was wrong again. I get over to where he's at.
You love when you're
Yeah,
wrong.
I hate it when I'm wrong. I get to where he was at, and he goes, "Right over here." And I went, "Oh, shit." He went, "What?" I went, "That's a nest." He went, "A what?" "A nest." I says, "I'm not sure what they use it for. They might use it to have a baby in there and protect it from wildlife. I'm not sure. But that's a nest. That's like they find out in Pacific Northwest. This is crazy." And I got pictures of it. Then I noticed in the one picture, there's a tree stand off to the left. And, no, I'm going to say 75 yards. And I was showing the picture to a research friend of mine. I said, "That's the only thing that bugs me." I said, "I know it's not a man made nest because of the size of the logs that were in there. The one would take more than two guys to carry to build that." And something I didn't do was check for hair. That was my mistake. And he's looking at it, and I says, "That tree stand is what bugs me." He says, "They're known to make nests near tree stands." I'm like, "What?" He says, "Yeah, I've other ones told me." I'm like, "Why?" Because they know deers go through there.
Oh,
Okay,
hmm.
that makes sense. you know,
It does.
but is it true? I don't know. But we did find a print close to that nest. And that's close to where that Bigfoot that was sighted came up through, across the road and up through where the girl saw it. So when we head back over to where the people are, I'm showing them the pictures. "Oh, we should have went." I went, "I'm sorry, I don't have fault here. You should have." But we found prints. We, you know, different twists and breaks, good ones. Um, it's amazing what you can find out there. It really is. And a lot of people miss stuff when they're out there hiking. They really do. Uh, for years as a hunter, and I mean years, I, I didn't really notice things. But finally, after hunting up in New York, West Virginia, PA, Ohio, yeah, I'm seeing all these tree structures and they're all the same. And I start thinking about this. It's like, why are they like this? And they're all over the countryside. So I start researching it on the internet. And that's what got me back to Bigfoot. Because I always believed after the Patterson Gimlin film, when I was a kid, I saw it. So, but that just threw me into the rabbit hole even more. Yeah. So Beth goes, "You're obsessed." Yeah, I am.
I mean, that's how we all get into this. Whatever community we're into, something happens and it just consumes you and you've got to find answers.
And with all honesty, I'm into a little bit of everything, but Bigfoot's the main thing for me. Uh, 14 years old, I saw a UFO. And I know I saw it because the neighbor took a picture of it and then he got harassed for showing it. Uh, back in those days, you don't say things like that. And what really
Yep.
got me, someone says that was a metal trash can that he threw in the air and took a picture. I'm a little over 3/4 of a mile away from the UFO I saw, and the same one he took a picture of, which he was a half a mile away.
Uh,
Um,
He's got a pretty good arm.
Pretty damn good arm, and I don't care. I'm not going to see a metal trash can lid, you know, 18 inches round, that far
Yeah.
away. Nah. If that was hovering, nah. It, but anyhow, that's I. I'm into a little bit of everything, and I don't care. You join my group, the agent that then explained. You don't have to go out research with it, but on Facebook, you go to my group and join it. Fine. Uh, with everything that's been going on the last year, I haven't really posted a lot. Other ones have been. Um, and it's some stuff are very interesting they're posting. Some is like, nah, but a few things I took off, but I leave it on there for discussion.
Yeah.
Uh, we all believe one way or the other. And when I tell my story, I I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not I'm not trying to make you a believer or not, but here here it is. Um, the thing is that we got our own beliefs of things. We believe in one way or the other, but remember to keep an open mind. Bigfoot world. Whoever's in the Bigfoot, keep an open mind. Some big We got three different factions in the Bigfoot world. You got your flesh and blood, you got your interdimensional, you got your alien. And believe me, these factions fight amongst each other. Why? Why?
Somebody has to be right.
I don't.
Somebody has to be right.
I don't know, Deb. I believe mine was flesh and blood. I believe it might be a primate of some sort. But I got an open mind that it could be interdimensional type creature, or it could be an alien. I'm not going to say it's not. What I saw, I believe, was flesh and blood, so it could be a primate. You're talking about the Ohio how, Mike? Yep. And when I first had my sighting, and it was at Salt Fork, State Park. I got invited to the group camp area with the So Speak group. Uh, Jack Warren invited me to come down to the camp out. He says, "You'll enjoy it. Got a lot of experiences going on down there." And I'm thinking, I'm not going to see a Bigfoot. Everybody goes to Saltport to see Bigfoot. I just want to hear the Ohio howl. Well, the first night there, I saw Bigfoot. Crazy. 2 years later, I got to hear the Ohio howl. So, yeah, yeah, Fox Pro. I've seen these guys at different events. They seen me, they heard me talk, they watched my podcast. And last year at the Pennsylvania Great Bigfoot Camp Out adventure that Deb asked about, that I got invited to. I saw the guys there. I came back up there, and I've been wanting to get one of their calls. I really did, but it's they're not cheap. Um, and I'm checking it out. The guy I usually talk to was taking care of a customer. And I talked to the other two guys. I said, "I'll be back. I'm going back down by my stand." Well, as I got to my stand, I walked over to talk to the Squatch detective. Uh, I respect this guy because he debunks a lot of the crap out there. Him and Nikki Collins, two of the best debunkers out there. Well, I'm BSing with him, and here comes the owner of Fox Pro. He got a box under his arm. He says, "Bill, you remember me?" "Yeah, I do." "We talked a lot. I better remember." He said, "Yeah, we talked a lot up in Marionville and a couple of the other places." I says, "Yeah." He says, "This is for you." He hands me a box. I'm like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "Okay, what's this all about?" And he walks away and he goes, "I bet you got one of those calls." I'm like, "Nah." "Yes."
Oh,
$125, $130 call he gave me. I went back up and I thanked him over and over again. He says, "Bill, you do a lot in this community. I want you to have it." I went,
that's
"I was
awesome.
going to buy one." He said, "No, this is yours." So when on my podcast, I advertise for him now.
Heck
He
yeah.
gave me a very expensive product, and it does have this Bigfoot calls on it, along with all kind of other animal calls too. And well, Bobby, there in Johnstown, all of a sudden I let off a Bigfoot call. Everyone stopped, jumping, looking around like, what? I even got Deb on that one, the first one. Then she was expecting all the other ones. Uh, I loved it. That freaked a lot of people out. Like, what? How did he get in here?
Yeah, that was good.
I had
I
fun
can't
with it.
believe we're almost 2 hours in this. This is awesome.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my God! Yes, we are.
I don't want to take up all your day, but I would sit here all day and listen to you.
Oh, you got another podcast tonight, so I better cut this short. It's
Oh, it's
Bobby.
not till 7 o'clock.
Let me say this: when you asked me, I said I got to get out of this funk. I made up my mind yesterday. I'm going to start having, even though I'm still grieving the loss of my wife. You helped a lot today.
Well, I believe in giving people their space
Yeah.
and letting them have their time. And
Yeah.
I know that I think you have so many people reaching out to you at the moment, and you really need just time. And that's why I just kind of like hung back and took my time. And that's when I reached out to you and said, how you doing? And if this is something you'd be interested in. And I even said it's an open-ended invite. You could do this anytime you want. And you're like, let's do it on this date. And I'm like, wow, really? And
And when you went, oh wow, really? I'm like, I got to get out of this funk. I'm depressed. I can't stay depressed. This is not me. This is driving me nuts. And I break down and cry a lot lately. And understand it. I know,
hey, I'm not
but
gonna lie.
that's not
I
me.
read some of your posts and I watch some of your videos that you make, and I get tears in my eyes. So I can see your pain, and
Yeah.
that means a lot as to how you felt about her and how she felt about you. And that is something that humans don't show a lot. And the fact that you can put yourself out there a little bit,
If it helps
it just
someone else,
again,
good. That's I'm tearing up again. But that's like my neighbor Roger behind us. He's seen it. Thank you, Damon. Um, the thing is, he uh, he goes, that is me. He says, and that is not you. With the expressions on your face, on your lives, and that. And I stayed away because I went and talked to him a couple of days ago. I saw him out, and he says, "I am sorry, Bill, but you needed your space, and I could tell you was hurting, and you asked for your space. I gave it to you." My a good friend Kenny from Indiana County, his mom kept saying, "Did you get a hold of Bill yet?" No, he wanted his space. I'm not
yes,
messaging him. And he says, I'm not calling him. I'm not give him his space. He's hurting. You need to talk to him. He wants his space. Too many people be bugging the hell out of him. He says, like they did when I lost dad. They bugged the hell out of me. Leave Bill alone. I called him and he says, I'm glad you called me because I was calling you Friday. This was Wednesday. He says, uh, I'm leaving you alone because you asked for your space and I know you needed it. He said, but I was calling you Friday because I was giving you enough space. And it's like I'm pulling the leash in. I want to see how you're doing. And I went, I appreciate that, Kenny, but I knew I got to get a hold of you sooner or later. I just couldn't do it. And he knows there's stuff out there. Uh, uh, he, me and him sat and talked about it. He had strange experiences up in the mountains there uh, of the Chestnut Ridge. And I told him of a sighting not that far from where he's at. He went, really? Right there? I went, yeah, right there. He- so, of course, he's on his quad up there a lot now. But anyhow, you know, it's like you did. You held back. Kenny held back. Roger held back. A lot of people held back. I've been getting messages now and I appreciate it. But there's a few people I haven't talked to in years. Reach out. If you need to talk, uh, we haven't talked in years. Why would I want to
right.
talk to you? You're not that close to me. And then I had these people asking how she's doing. I don't know if you saw that post, Bobby.
Yes, I did.
That that's the nicest way I could put it out there,
Yeah, yeah.
without telling a few choice words.
Hmm.
And I knew I was hurt, and that made me angry. And if I'm hurt and angry at the same time, I'm not a nice guy. So I did it that way. And for the
Well,
people that
well,
don't know my wife, she's the backbone of me and everything I do, and the research and the whole 9 yards. Because there's times I say, I'm done with it. She says, no, you're not. What do you mean, no, I'm not? She says, you enjoy this too much. This is what, yeah, I bitch at you about it because there's times it takes you away, but this is you. This is what you're doing. You're not stopping because you're upset or you're worried about me. You're going to do it. The love of my
That's how
life,
you
right
know
there.
you guys were the match made in heaven because she totally got you for sure.
Yes, she did. And yes, I miss her. Yes, I talked to her. And yes, she woke me up that one morning. And I hope she wakes me up a lot more. You know, and I know she's with me. And she's always going to be with me. You know, it, so that's all I'm going to say on that.
We talked about your page and your group, and anything else you want to throw there, how people can follow you, and
Come out in the woods, follow me.
we
No,
talked about where you're going to be at. But
um, I do a podcast every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. It's starting back up on the 18th. With Beth going in the hospital and then passing in the whole 9 yards, I shut everything down. I actually shut myself down. You know,
oh,
um,
absolutely.
but I'm going to start the podcast back up on the 18th. Uh, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate that. She inside and out, inside and out. Um, and if you did something wrong, she'd tell you. That's when she wasn't so beautiful because she was not nice about it. Um, you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow my group, Asians Up Down Explain, on Facebook and YouTube. Uh, you follow my podcast page on Asians Up Down Explain podcast page. Um, we got TikTok, Instagram, which I'm not on that much. I'm not that's into that stuff. I'm an old man.
It's hard.
I admit I'm an old man. I don't, you know, I can get away with saying that now. I am 67. I could use that excuse. But yeah, so you can follow me on that. I hope you join in on my podcast. You know, uh, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Agents of the Unexplained, uh, and you'll start catching us every Wednesday. And I do lives throughout the week just to be an ass and agitate people. And and when I do my lives, it dings on Joe Kesky's phone. So sometimes I do 6 lives a day just to agitate them. Uh, I tell Joe that too. But yeah, um, so be patient with me in the next few weeks because I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. Um, and next on the 18th, I will have this big cigar smoking guy on with us. Um, yeah, he's kind of scary. Not as scary as me, but he's scary. Um, I'm going to have another paranormal guy on too. I'm not sure who it is yet. I'm trying to get it lined up. I'm having my psychic friend from Wisconsin, Christina Bloom. She'll be on. We're going to be talking about the other side. Yes, Kelly, I still go out. I haven't much the past year, but yes, I'm going to be out a hell of a lot more. I'm going,
And I'm going out with it at one point.
yes, I'm going to be doing lives from the woods, the whole 9 yards. And I got to get back into the swing, straight up. And I'm going to do it because I'm looking forward to it. I got to do it because that's my passion. And, you know, I'm still taking care of a lot of stuff from best passing. I got to get done the legal end of stuff and everything else. Uh, so we'll go from there. But I want to thank you all for listening to my stories, experiences. Bobby, thank you for having me. I needed this today. Believe me.
And absolutely, anytime you want to come on, you're welcome on mine, uh, and I'll be on yours anytime you
Yep.
want me as well.
Yep. And any of my followers that are listening, follow this guy. Follow Verona Ghost. They
Yeah,
they are a great group. They really are. And they do a lot of great research. I don't say that about
we
everybody.
try. We really
And he
try.
drinks Dr. Pepper.
We're more, and we drink Dr. Pepper. Absolutely. Although I drink the fat-free stuff because I'm already too fat.
I'll shut up.
Wait till you're dragging me around the woods out there. I'm like, for me, I can't keep up.
I can't keep up with myself. I'm like, gotta keep going. But anyhow,
Bill, pick me up on the way back. I'll just stay here.
okay. You got to meet my buddy Sparky. He's a big guy. He makes me winded.
Well,
Uh,
I'm going to have to start training,
me too. I'm out of practice.
cutting back on the cigars.
Yeah, right. But thank you again. I really
Oh, my pleasure. Like I said, anytime.
appreciate that.
And here's one more for you before we go.
Thank you. I try to be strong. It's hard at times. I try.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely. Absolutely. All right, Bill, you take care. And I'm sure we will talk very soon
oh,
anyway.
I'll guarantee it. I guarantee it. Take care. Thank you.
And we did. We hit the 2 hour mark, 2 hours and 7 minutes. So we crushed it today.
Wow. 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 Wow.
All right, everybody, thank you for joining in. It means a lot. This was a really special podcast that I really felt strongly about seeing if I could get Bill on here as a human being and as an investigator. He means a lot to me, and I just wanted to share that with all of you. So I hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't catch all of it, rewind and start from the beginning because there's a lot. So everybody take care, and I'll see everybody tonight on Beyond the Spirits at 7.
Peace.
Take
Peace
care.
out.